Welcome to Pitch Day. My name's Jeff Sailing. I'm one of the co-founders at Startup NV and a general partner at Fund NV and 1864. Today, we're going to hear from two founders, Eric Adams from Dog and Whistle and Nick Jones from Ingenix. Today, we're here. It's Pitch Day for 500K. These Nick and Eric made it through a little bit of a gauntlet. Usually there's about 10 companies applying for every person who gets to pitch here on Pitch Day. So appreciate you guys going through the process of doing what we ask you to do so that you're in shape to pitch. Startup NV is Nevada's statewide startup incubator and accelerator. And we operate 7 free programs for our nonprofits that are directed at entrepreneurs. We operate 4 investment funds. Now we get those grants, the nonprofit, we are supported by largely by government grants and corporate sponsors. And we get additional support from our founders who get investment from us. They donate a little bit of their equity to the nonprofit, which hopefully will be worth a lot of money someday. And the investment funds that I'm part of also donate part of their profit back to the nonprofit as well. So we hope over time that those donations of equity and profit from the investment funds lead to the place where the nonprofit doesn't have to apply for government grants anymore. It'll be worth a lot of money, and it might be donating to other things. That's the game plan over about 10 years. So our fortnightly Pitch Day offers companies an opportunity to pitch to get access and admittance to our accelerator, and that comes with an investment from Fund NV. We add to that investment by going to our network and saying, hey, Fund NV is investing in this company, $100,000. Our syndicate adds money to that. And then that whole thing gets matched by the state of Nevada, dollar for dollar. And that program, the Nevada's SSBCI program, is part of the ecosystem that we live in and all of you here live in. Since 2021, our funds have directly invested about $12 million in 24 different startups. Now, in addition to that, our partners like the state of Nevada and others have added about $25 million to the $12 million we've invested. The $12 million we've invested is currently worth about $68 million. So if you are an investor in one of our funds or one of our SPVs, you should be pretty happy. That since 2021, we have about a 5x multiple on the money that we've invested in the companies that we've invested in. So now for the legal disclaimer, come on in. Today's pitches are for investment from our legally compliant venture funds and syndicate. It's restricted to SEC accredited and Nevada certified investors. We welcome the community to attend here in person and online for educational purposes, but these pitches should not be considered a general solicitation for investment from the general public. I'd like to thank our sponsors, the City of Las Vegas, Clark County, Governor's Office of Economic Development, the EDA, and the USDA, and Brian, if he's in the room somewhere, for providing this lovely facility for us today. I mean, isn't this a cool spot? Really cool. So for those of you who are looking for a co-working space or want to do an event like the one we're doing here, talk to Brian from Woven Workspaces. It's really cool. It's like a step back into my childhood in the late 70s. All the paneling, the look, the vibe is very cool. So that's Pitch Day. Eric, you're about to be batter up. So come on up to the front.
Everyone see my screen okay?
We can see it.
Perfect.
We want you to go around that way and face us.
So
that we can see your lovely
all right, you gotta
face
bear with me.
on
First
camera.
time. So
There you go.
all right, my friends. Hello. My name is Eric Adams. I'm the founder and CEO of Dog and Whistle. And I am excited to share a story before we jump in. What if I told you that a startup idea didn't happen overnight, but actually this startup idea was something that was instilled from a conversation back in 2001. So I was having a conversation with a chef from my hometown of Gary, Indiana, and she was explaining to me the different cultural impacts that she had growing up. She was born and raised in Cleveland, Mississippi. She had dreams and aspirations of wanting to become a chef. And she would tell me these stories on how she would take different products and ugly fruits and different organ meats and things of that nature and convert it to meals. But in reality, that was a practice that, from a culture standpoint, that was kind of created out of disparity from our ancestors. So she would tell me these stories on how they would make pickled pig's feet and all of these different products from products that no one would ever want. And as we're sitting there snapping peas, getting ready for service, she would tell me that, all right, Jamel, quit asking questions because we had that rapport. We got to get ready for service on Sunday. And service on Sunday was actually at our house. So every day she would cook different different dishes out of anything she could find. She would have relationships built with local farmers markets, take those snap peas, those carrots, and create amazing dishes. And that chef was actually my grandmother. So I introduce to you Dog and Whistle. We are a local Las Vegas pet food company, but we do something a little bit different. We're a sustainable pet food company for the eco-conscious pet parent who we want to reduce food waste, feed better, and create a healthier healthier planet one bowl at a time. But just to tie that back in, we actually rescue our foods from those distributors locally and restaurant partners here locally and create sustainable products for your dogs. So that same practice, we're translating it to the pet food industry. So pet food, the problem, pet food hasn't evolved, right? We see the same thing. They rely on outdated formulas. They rely on ultra processed meals. There's lack of innovation, sourcing. And as the modern day pet parent is growing from baby boomers to now Gen Zers and millennials, they're having less children and more pets. So they're looking for that healthy alternative for their pet. So what's that resulting in? We're seeing more of accelerated health issues rising in our pets, more humanized, and also a massive environmental footprint that we are looking to try to eradicate. And the consumer is more health conscious and they're searching for better options. I mean, we see a market where Pet Plate and Farmer's Dog is kind of leading that charge, but we see a segment that we can get into. So the process, we take that overlooked food waste, right? So the surplus, okay? If you ever went to your local grocery stores and you see those ugly fruits and veggies that's sitting on that counter in a red bag, no one's buying that. That's just an overall surplus of that food that's going to be thrown away. That's where we actually come in, just as an example, and we rescue those foods. And each bowl reduces that 30% of food waste that is globally being produced. And yes, the chef, which was my grandmother, that had those dreams and aspirations of wanting to have her own restaurant, actually followed in those same footsteps. I went to school for culinary, wanted to open up my own restaurant, but I kind of just transitioned my career from back of the house to front of the house. But I kind of took what I've learned throughout the years and converted it into this culinary aspect within the pet food space. So I've ventured throughout this career, throughout the years in Las Vegas. I moved here in 2008. I started as an assistant manager for every casino from the Stratosphere, and then most noticeably finishing up my career at the Wynn. So I've been exposed to that food world in terms of what the distributors are doing and where that need and the necessity is at and how we can kind of tackle that. And within that, have well over 20 years within that food related world. But then our advisory board has well over 47 years within their collective experience from Tuskegee University all the way until Drexel University. So 65 million households owns a dog, and $64 billion spend roughly around $64 billion of food is being purchased within that premium pet food sector. So wet, fresh pet food. And upcycling and sustainability trends, that's something that's starting to drive the segment growth. So we're hitting that TAM market of $1.4 billion within the 1.4 billion TAM, US TAM specifically, but globally, we have that 64 billion in which we have an opportunity to hit. So our competition, we have all our competition, our competitors: Farmer's Dog, Buffalo, Blue Buffalo, Sundays, and then Open Farm. Our ingredient transparency is clear. It's sustainable. It's one ingredient in terms of our treats and our toppers. And then for our meals, if you look on the back of that package and you cannot pronounce it, we're not going to put it on there. It's going to be easily identifiable for you as a consumer. Our upcycled ingredients are core at the brand. And then our promise and then our passion is that we're looking to become the Nevada's first carbon neutral pet food manufacturer. And we're community driven, sorry. So revenue, we've generated since inception, since 2019, over 1,000 orders. We've hit top line revenue of last year of 90K. So we're seeing roughly around a 10% year-over-year revenue growth from 2023 to 2024. And then we're on course to hit roughly around $125,000 for this year. Our consumers, our target customers, pet owners, pet lovers, independent pet stores, large pet supply chains, direct to consumer brands, and we're not doing any outside R&D. We're going to do our R&D ourselves. So our protective barrier to kind of hard copy what we can do, nobody else can defend this ground like we can. We're focusing on brand trust and community. I think that's super important within our community, most specifically. Sustainability and supply chain, we have well over 85 suppliers for our brand itself. So if we're looking to scale, that will not be an issue. And then innovation and IP. So innovation, proprietary formulas, recipe innovation, and then also direct collaboration with any other brands, specifically pet technology brands that are looking to bring in a food arm. We will have those capabilities to assist with them as well. Our target investment, we're looking to raise $500,000. And that will help in terms of creating long customer relationships for expansion, go from a dog food brand to specifically a dog brand, go beyond food and become the one-stop shop for overall pet brand, and then own out that dog category right across the channel. So we want to build out a team that can help us do it. We want to put serious investment into marketing and brand and as well as our omni channels, and then focus on our recipe creation and engineering. Our go-to-market strategy. So we want to hit roughly about 50% ARR from online channels. Just to give you a little bit of a backstory. Our revenue split, we're doing roughly around 75% on our D2C market. So our subscription-based market, we want to increase that. We're looking to have a 5x pipeline efficiency. We are looking to create a 2-month sales cycle from meeting to close. Now, I'm also going to talk about the 2-month sales cycle and a 3-year contract length. So that specifically is going to be built with casinos here in Las Vegas, where we will have amenity boxes created for the pet parents that come to visit Las Vegas. And beyond the bowl, expanding our impact, elevating our mission. Right now, you can see our wet food, but if we want to hit the masses, if we want to kind of break those logistics, we're looking to evolve into air-dried food. That way we can actually ship nationwide without dry ice and none of those other logistics that's going to hold that packaging down. Dog leave paw prints are on our hearts. Thank you so much.
Jeff, back to you.
Wow, what a crowd we have today. I mean, full room. There's people standing outside. My goodness. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. And to Nick's point, I'm going to double down on his anti-Delaware commentary. We have a bill in our legislative session, this session, called AJR 8, Joint Resolution 8, that would set up chancery courts in Nevada. They would be appointed business judges, and we have to change our constitution to do that because we elect judges in Nevada. So it has to pass through the legislature twice, and then we vote on it. So 4 years from now, when it comes up for votes, vote in favor of whatever AJR 8 becomes, because it will increase Our revenue in Nevada by people registering here versus Delaware by about $2 billion a year. And we'll actually have expert business judges deciding these really complicated cases with IP. Some of the stuff that Nick was talking about, where, I mean, you bring up this guy violated my patent. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. You have to understand all the battery chemistry and all this other stuff. You know, the everyday criminal court judge is not going to understand that, right? So you want to have somebody who's sitting up in front of that courtroom who's been appointed that understands that stuff. So AJR8, not very sexy, but those of us in the business community who care about that kind of stuff, very important. So they're calling it Dexit, like DE, Delaware exit. Very cool. Sorry, I geeked out on you for a minute there. Investors, if you liked what you heard from me up top, which I'll repeat again, we've done $12 million investing, 24 companies, currently worth $67.5 million. So we generally we pick them well, we support them well. So if you are an investor who's thinking about, hey, should I invest in startups? Please jump on our startupnv.org, say, I'm an investor. It'll lead you down a path to present you with a bunch of options. You'll probably eventually end up talking to me or Leith. Where'd Leith go? He's not here. He's back. He's out there preserving a seat for somebody in the room. And we'd love to talk to you about becoming an investor in one of our funds. So if you wouldn't mind, follow us on LinkedIn. We put a lot of information out there. That's how you know about who's pitching on the next pitch day. Also, we have a lot of content out there on YouTube, so follow us there. No TikTok yet. But we do Facebook a little bit, Twitter a little bit, but mostly LinkedIn and YouTube. And thanks again to today's founders for coming out here and pitching today. So let's give them another round of applause. And if you like this kind of stuff, join us again in 2 weeks to see two additional Nevada investors present their companies to you. And until then, take care of yourself. And if you can, someone else too. We will see you back in 2 weeks.